actually, oh no, that's not it. Hi, this is one of your class members, Prashant, and he's been working on kind of a blogging website inspired by the content in this course. I guess it helps him study as a creative outlet. So he's going to try to morph that into a class project, and he's excited about his work, so he wanted to share his thoughts with you. And anybody else who has some kind of project idea and wants to just run it by the class is also welcome to do that.
Hi everyone, as Dr. Maida mentioned, I'm Prasant Lasne, and so so the site is called Unisala. So if you just Google Unisala, it will show up in the front. And as you mentioned, it's kind of like it's not yeah, you can think about it as a blog, but it's like more like a note sharing platform. Rather than a blog, I would rather name it as like article. So here, I'll show you at the little bit later. So for now, I'll show you what I have been working on. So I just click the search button, and then I'll search for deep learning. So here are the articles that has been published under this deep learning. And so if I go to space, this is exactly what I want to show you. So before we talk about this space, I wanna tell you, like, I wanna talk about why I want to show you exactly. So anytime, like especially at the beginning of the course, the deep learning was very like new to me, and a lot of information that we talked in the class, or like Dr. Maida presented in the class, was just like superficial, kind of like superficial. I was not properly understanding it, and so I was kind of a little bit lost in the classroom, and that's exactly why I decided to have this space. And so first thing is, why should even like care how it's gonna help you at all, right? So the first thing is, I think it's kind of designed in a way that it's going to make your in this class we're going to talk about deep learning, but this application is designed for you to learn any new concept in a like more a simpler way. That is, for example, when we are learning about back propagation or even neural network, so those concepts are kind of broken down into like simpler concepts that not just like we as graduate student, but anyone can understand. As for example, activation function, or even when we're talking about probability theorem or Bayes theorem, like how is that exactly useful when we are graduating and will be working on our industry, right? So it's kind of designed like to connect theoretical knowledge to the real world application and kind of break things down into simpler forms where we probably have a better idea. And so in this phase, so let's go from the so I have this. So here, if you see, it's started from deep learning 101 and neural network 101, chapter 2. So if we go into this, kind of starts from the, actually these are some articles that I wrote. So I wanted to understand like how, we also talked about theory history, like some cases where deep learning was just starting. So I just wanted to dive deeper into it and explore the field more. So that's where I was learning this stuff, and then I was kind of putting a note that was useful to me, and eventually it developed into into this space where there are like now a lot of articles. So for example, I started, and even this I did not come up with myself. I went through like all lot of articles and even courses and videos, and I was able to put down these notes for me. So this is how this, for example, this is an article that I wrote, and how the 5 MB of hard drive would look like in 1956, and why deep learning would not take a leap anytime soon, versus 10 MB of hard drive will cost like 3,500, versus right now you can probably order one online for 256 GB and $20. So I just wanted to kind of go over like understand how it actually pioneered for the first time and stuff like that before I understand what it is exactly. And then after that, we also learned about few like concepts like case study on exclusive OR problem and stuff like that. Probably check those out. And we talked. It's a similar thing. We talked about linear transformation and linear algebra, and I was very curious whether we were exactly going to use those in the deep learning library, or yeah. So, and in this article, I broke down how like the image transformation, for example, you're cropping an image, or you are rotating how linear algebra is being used. So these are primarily just my notes that I initially started writing, and then as the time went through, it kind of built into this space where I think this will be a lot helpful to you guys as well. And the purpose I'm presenting this right now is not just that I want to show something I did to you guys, but I want to ask you guys and also like encourage you guys to post your notes that like right now I'm speaking on my myself, but I think this will be on behalf of most of the students who might find it useful. So if you have any notes or any articles that you have written on, or it's like anything, it can be any idea, any concept that you want to share, just go ahead and publish under this space. I'll show you in a bit how you can do that. And so I also have something to show you. So I brought this visual here to make this section a little bit more interesting. So I have this little chocolate here. And I'll be giving this to two participants at the end of this section. So first, let me just so I have this right here. So the way you can it's not just about deep learning, right? It's about any classes you can find. For example, I've also taken like principles of programming language. Here you can find basically you can find articles on like, since we go over Haskell and inference rules and stuff like that. This might be because I know like even I was confused at the beginning of starting of this semester. Where am I going to use this knowledge exactly? And I was a little bit lost and confused and disconnected from what we're studying. So if that, I think that is applicable to like most of us. So I was trying to kind of help myself, and that's how it started. But this can be at the same time be helpful to you as well. So you can start contributing, or you can just go over and just take the advantage of the resources. And the way you can publish it is you can simply come over here and add a note. And so anything you can say lecture. Let's say lecture. November 598. This is just going to be a quick demo. 598. And then let's say you type an article here, right? And so the way you can publish this, you can simply click over here, and then you can select deep learning. And you can select as much as, let's say your article is more like mathematical. You can also add mathematics. Or you can also say CSCE-598. So you'll have spatial topic. So this is how you can publish it. So for this topic right now, this is what I wanna do. I'll pay this topic to two students in my favorite classmates. So let's go to deep learning.
Do we have to sign up or something before we can do that?
Yes, that's why I brought this chocolate though. You have to do a few things, like just go with. So if you come down here in the, so let's open, I'll open this. So if you scan this QR code, it will probably, or you can just go to the site and simply search deep learning. And then you should see this space, and at the end you should see this follow button, which will probably, which what it does is, so let's say anytime someone posts an article on this tag, you'll have a chance to either read it, or you can also, basically you'll get notified if there's some new notes been published on this tag. And the way you can do is simply click on it, and then this will ask for you to sign up. And so you can use your email, or you just use Google directly to do so. And once you do that, I'll just lock it out to users, and then just give this to you guys. So that's it.
Okay. Does the audience have any questions?
Yeah.
So I was asking, you just have to sign up. When we follow, you just sign up and you can start.
Yeah, so if you just click on this follow, it will take you to the sign up button, and then it will redirect you back to this button, and then you can just click on the follow at that time.
Okay, I have some questions. It's about writing the final paper for this project. So there are conferences that probably publish papers on information sharing sites like this and things related. So we have parts of the paper like title, abstract, introduction. And the introduction, you might say, like I said the other day, what the contributions are. In your situation, it would be maybe how do your features compare with other things out there? Methodology. I don't know if you have clear experiments, but you do have you would be giving instructions on how to use the website and why this is a good design. You would be giving background information on how the tools used to build the website. Getting toward the end of the paper, you would be talking about, so any app always has obvious limitations. So you might mention a few limitations, limitations easy to address, and what future work there might be, what the potential significance of the work is. Maybe even if the class starts.
I'll write it down.
Oh, okay. If the class were to start contributing, or anybody start contributing, that would be a statement about potential significance. Or you could address that as potential significance. So I'm just making these comments because I know you're following your creativity and your vision. You really have a nice vision. And so I'm just giving you a little push in the direction of putting together a paper, is what my comments are.
I think that will also give me a chance to think through it. Otherwise, I don't think I would like put so much time into just just thinking and brainstorming about it. I think that's a good way to work on it as well.
Okay.
And also, this button, I just pushed this button this morning just to be able to show it into the class. So, and talking about the limitation you mentioned, right, about the tech stack or whatever I used to build the site. Firstly, it was in 2021. I was an undergraduate student. I first launched kind of beta version in the mobile app and placed in apps in Play Store and Android. And the idea was to help international student come to basically pick right university in USA for the study. That was the initial idea, and that got after some time the idea, like we were pushing features, and after a certain time even the idea of just working on the mobile phone was not like good idea. So instead of that, we wanted to have a website because nobody's going to download the application for the first time and use it, right? You have to taste it and try it before they download something. And so that was developed into. So basically, our need was we wanted a code base where we can push an application into App Store, Play Store as a mobile app, and then also have a website at the same time. Basically, I just have one single code base and be able to do those things. Because normally in the industry, if you want to build a mobile app, you'll have to have one. If you really want to build the finest app, you'll have to have one app for iOS, one app for Android phone. So that's already a code base. To build a website, it's a third code base you have to work on. And as a lean startup or as a lean like individual contributor, you're not going to like be pushing the same feature, writing the code for 3 different code bases to build the same thing. So that was a challenge, and it was then transformed. It was initially written in React Native, then was transferred to Ionic React, and after that, the challenges was whenever I was giving the site to anyone, any student or any student who wanted to come to US for the study, and there was an article written on it. It used to take almost 40 seconds to load the site, and almost everyone used to say, "Hey, your server is not loaded. Like app is basically crashed. It's not loading at all." And later, a lot of people were saying that, and I kind of investigated into it, and it was the application size, the bundle size that was almost 5 MB. Like downloading a song, it would take 40 seconds, more than 40 seconds to just be able to load the app. And it was awful experience, like because not like almost all the user after 10 seconds would leave the site because it's just not loading right. And so after that, we reduced the size to 2 MB, and the challenge was nobody was going to find the article from Google because it was not SEO optimized at all. So the way this works right now is basically this. Everything you see here is built on the server side, and the page itself is built on the server side. And then whenever you access the URL through deep learning, Google is just going to throw a file that has already been built. And so in that way, Google itself is able to find the information on the page versus normal Ionic app that is not like previous version was. When the website would load, it will request information from the server. And at that time, the page is going to be blank for some time, and only after the information is fetched. It's how the React architecture works in a plain way. So that was a challenge, and so right now this is built on Astro. Content is built on Astro.js. That is basically, I think, the most advanced UI concept recently. So basically, you can build this part. So just for an example, you can build this part in React. You can build this part in, let's say, Vue.js, and you can build this part in Angular, and you can have this button in kind of like a static. So that's a whole concept of island architecture, and so it will not restrict you to one single technology. Basically, as a developer, you have the whole advantage to leverage all different technology. But that being said, it's not like you're going to use 10 different technologies in the same front end. But if your application is really big enough, you can leverage Astro for that. And SEO is not just on out of the box. And I think even in terms of loading speed and SEO, and in terms of all these web vitals, there is to measure aside how well it is. I think Astro lands on the top from all the rest of the framework. So these are just few things that I learned while developing the app.
a lot of what you just said and could be condensed into the background section of your paper. Setting up the stage at the end of the set background section, your design choices for the current architecture. Okay, I guess we should move
Yeah.
on.
So was there any like Easter egg? Did anybody like? I think you guys like sign up or you sign up? I think there is only one gonna get the candy, I guess. Yeah, I encourage you to just click on the button. Just give me not me, but this class a follow button because at the end, if like let's say anyone decides to post on it, we can all engage on it. And have a like engaging contribution to the space, and it's not just us that's gonna be like reading those articles. It might be let's say students few years down the road, might struggle with the concept that you published once and be helpful. So, anyways, yeah, that's that, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks. Does anybody think they have an idea that they might want to run by the class and maybe next week? Anyway, if some.